Welcome to the Hail to the Victor in You show, where we are going to talk all things about how you can find the victor in you and in your life, whether it be because you're dealing with some trials or some past traumas in your life, or maybe you're just struggling in life right now in general. Whatever it is, we're going to help you get rid of the victimhood and find the victor in you. Today, we've got an awesome guest. Her name is Miss Lorrine Patterson. We're going to talk all things about love, happiness, and finding more of each in our life. So today, she focuses on how we can find more of those things in our life and how finding love for ourselves and happiness within ourselves and our own life, how that can bleed into the rest of our lives and the rest of the relationships in our lives and the careers and whatever it is we're doing. If we can find true love for ourselves, then we can start feeling that love and happiness bleed through the rest of our lives. And who doesn't want a little more happiness and love in their life? Okay. Now I want you to think about this. Who here watching right now, I see you, has had a toxic relationship or an abusive situation or an abusive relationship? Who's had any of those? I hope you're not in that club, but unfortunately, I think there's a whole lot of us in that club. So here we're going to talk about how we can turn that around and find the green flags against the red flags on your current relationship and your future relationships, and so you don't do the same thing again. We don't want to repeat that traumatic cycle. We don't want to continue to find toxic people in our lives. We want to get rid of it. We want to clear that out. We want to heal that trauma so the next time we can do better.
I was very young. My parents divorced when I was young. So I didn't really grow up in a stable environment. I didn't grow up in a home with love. Both my parents were mentally and physically abusive. So I didn't really have that foundation as a child of just knowing love, knowing how to take care of myself, love myself. And so I kind of carried that throughout my life at a very young age, through my teenage years into my adulthood. I was always finding love in all the wrong places, meaning looking for love outside of myself. And I was just in this relationship where I was really there out of fear. You know, he would threaten to do things to me if I left. So I would just, stay because, I thought I can't live without him. What am I going to do with two kids? Right. And so what really saved me from that relationship and gave me the strength was when he got caught for doing something illegal. And so he went, to state prison. And that was really like in that 3 years, that was the time where I built up my strength. I got stronger in saying, no, I'm not going to live this way anymore. So I was still getting involved with a lot of unavailable men. I just, whatever man paid attention to me, I would say, okay, he's the one. Every guy I met, he's the one. And I would try to change myself to make them love me. I wasn't myself sometimes. Like, for example, I don't like football, but I would pretend like I liked the Cowboys, for example. That was one of the guys I dated. I would wear the jersey, it's like, oh, I'm a fan, post social media, like, oh my gosh, go Cowboys. When I was just, I don't even like football. And because I carried a lot of the trauma from the first marriage into the second marriage, I didn't heal from that first marriage and even all the emotional abuse I dealt with as a child. I never sought therapy. So I thought, okay, this guy, I'm going to marry this guy. And I was 33 when the severe depression just really set in. And that was when my thoughts of suicide started coming in, and I almost took my life. And something stopped me that night. I had the pills, I was going to do it, but I just said, no, something was telling me this is not your life, and you have more to do in your life. So I had my career, and then I met my husband now in 2017. And that was really my transformation, but I couldn't have met him until I learned to love myself. So that really is like where I transformed my life in 2017. We married in 2019, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm going to be 50 next year. And I finally figured it out. I figured out how to love myself. I figured out what to do when I start slipping back to that, limiting beliefs that some of us have as a child, right? I still get those creeping in at the age of 49. And so I know I have the tools now to flip my mindset, take care of myself, take a break. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to not be okay. And just love myself, like go out in nature, those types of things. So that's kind of a short story of my journey, but it's all in the book.
Right now. I know. How did you know? I mean, because you said you've been married 3 times, and so I'm not going to give out the details because I want people to get the book because it's awesome. But how did you go from these really, for the most part, some of them terrible relationships, whether it was the relationship themselves, how they treated you, how were you then able to find out and believe, okay, this is the man for me. This really is true love. How were you able to decide? How do you know?
Yeah, that's a good question. Excellent question, actually. So there was just all these things he did for me when I had my surgery. I had to get a partial hysterectomy. He was there from beginning to end. And this was all before we got married. And I was just like, this is the guy, and giving me all his passwords to his phone to make me feel secure, because in the past, guys would hide their phone, they turn it upside down, like hiding stuff from me, and they were hiding stuff from me. And he just was so free with everything that I needed to feel safe and comfortable and loved. She was just giving this to me. And
what would you say would be some good take homes for the viewers to help them learn how to better love themselves in that way?
And so I always share what helped me. And I always encourage people, try it for a week, 2 weeks, see if it works. And if it doesn't, just adjust and try something different. There's so many tips, but what helped me initially was affirmations.
Because sometimes we need to forgive people and send them that love and send them that positive vibes or thoughts or prayers. But that doesn't mean you have to give them access to you in your life again. It just means you're no longer letting them hurt you, and you're no longer letting that just keep you captive and really just shut things down. It allows you to be free, and it frees them, but it doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life.
Yes.
What do you love about you? When you appreciate you and you love you for who you really are, you're much less likely to settle for anything less. And that is what I want for you and your life. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your love and support. We'll see you next time. Mwah.